Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Corporate Services Bruce County Committee Friday, June 1st meeting. And the first thing on the agenda today is everyone please disclose any pecuniary interest that you may have on today's agenda. Moving on to action items then, Betty Ann. Is 2A is the 2018 landfill tax ratio determination and limits. And Betty Ann, please.
Thank you, Mr. Warden. As you will recall that we do like to look at our tax ratios and their tax classes fairly early in the process, just so that we can provide that information to our lower tiers to assist them with their budget review. Oftentimes that does mean that we have to come back and do an amendment, and in this case this is a very small amendment, but it is related to the landfill class tax ratio, where we have no taxable property, but it is impacted by the payments in lieu. So the adopted landfill, because we were maintaining it at the commercial rate, was 1.2331. When we complete all of the requirements in the Ontario Property Online Tax, OPTA, it identified that the revenue neutral landfill class ratio, and we have the ability to add 5%, is actually 1.22583. So the bylaw that we adopted does require amendment, but as I did indicate that we can make that change with the approval today, and then the bylaw be formalized on July 5th, but it won't mean any delays for the lower tier municipalities in issuing their property tax notices. And the recommendation is before you to adopt that report, and the recommendation to amend the bylaw, to amend the landfill tax ratio.
So the recommendation, I'll read the recommendation that the 2018 landfill tax ratio determination and limits report be adopted, and that bylaw 2018-013, a bylaw to adopt estimates, tax ratios, and tax rates for the year 2018 be amended to alter the landfill tax ratio to 1.225583. The recommendation was moved by Milt, seconded by Ann. Any discussion on the motion? Milt?
The range of fairness, Betty Ann, is 0.6 to 1.1.
That is correct, and that's where they would, you can move to that range of fairness. So if, but because we established ours at the commercial rate, and we had the ability to do that, but if we were, as we can't move greater, so we move towards that range of fairness. And that's what the revenue neutrality does. And we have very limited landfill properties, so it makes no impact to our tax rates that we established.
But would it impact our PILs? It would impact our PILs.
It would if we were to move the ratio lower, and that was the original assessment last year when we completed it, that we wanted to maintain it at the commercial rate rather than reducing it, because it could impact the PILs for other properties. So because we have to have the revenue neutrality, so we can't, because it has to be the revenue neutrality, so we can't shift the burden onto the other classes, and that's why we're maintaining it as great as we can.
We can't shift the burden.
It has to be revenue neutral. So the money that was raised in the prior year, we need to raise the further. What I can do is bring back at the next committee and show you the actual calculation and the amount of assessment that's related to, so that you have a visual to apply to that.
The pros and cons of.
Yeah, I'll do that. Part of that is included, in the presentation, but we'll bring it out and just deal with this one specifically.
Any other comments on the recommendation? Discussion? All those in favor of the recommendation? Those opposed? That's carried. Insurance program savings and risk management recommendations, Betty Ann.
you will recall that we had completed the tender for our 2018 insurance program, and as a result, we generated a surplus from what had been originally budgeted. We budgeted based on our 2017 costs and the 5% increase projected, and so the timing issue there. And we had identified that we were looking also at cyber insurance, and that is an ongoing evaluation, and we'll be bringing back a recommendation on that. But the immediate need that we identified was the exterior security cameras and enhanced lighting at the Park Street, and we're recommending that that project be brought forward into 2018, funded from the surplus from the insurance cost, and then the remainder, the insurance surplus, and that the remainder be transferred to an insurance reserve for other considerations, which may be cyber insurance, but they would be brought forward in a recommendation to access that reserve in future years.
Okay, thank you, Betty Ann. I'll read the recommendation that the savings from the 2018 insurance program be applied to the cost to install exterior security cameras and enhanced lighting at the Park Street Administration Center, and that the remainder be transferred to the insurance reserve. Have a mover and a seconder for that motion. Moved by Ann, second by Robert. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, those in favor of the motion? That's carried, thank you. The other items is information items, and Betty Ann.
There are three information items. The long-term debt analysis. These are subsequent to the receipt of the 2017 external audit, and as well the cash holdings and investment, and in that we've provided you with some additional information in regards to activity in 2018 and for your information. And the third information item is in regards to the county jail and some events that have been happening, and I would like to present to our public what the YouTube video that was presented, and for hopefully it appeared that it was going to work. So. So thank you for taking the time to watch that, and I just really wanted to highlight that we're going to watch it again here. Just to highlight that while the jail has been remains vacant, staff do continue to utilize it and to maintain it, and where possible to come up with creative ways and to showcase it as well. So, and if there are any questions on any of the information items, I'd be happy to answer them.
Questions of Betty Ann on the information items? That, yeah, very good, Betty Ann. That was entertaining for sure. That next meeting is July the 5th. I'm sorry, do you have
I do have just one item, Mr. Warden, and it's to serve, I guess, notice to committee for the next committee day. Betty and a group of her staff members have worked the last 2 days, including Betty Ann, on our first lean initiative for Bruce County, and the item that was selected through a group discussion as an area for process improvement was the functioning of accounts payable. And so before you leave today, and we will keep it up for the 21st committee meeting, to go into the lounge and you'll see all of the work, and it truly is phenomenal what the team did. So lots of exciting things happening there.
Thank you for that, Kelly. And nothing further on the agenda today, Betty Ann. Next meeting is July the 5th. And motion to adjourn, moved by Ann, seconded by Mike. Any discussion? We're adjourned. Thank you very much. Next up is